All right. These are the test corrections for Chapter 5, 6 tests. You guys took this last Friday, December 16th, 2016. This is worth out of 40 points. You don't want me to say your name over the video because I'm showing the other classes. It'd be kind of embarrassing to hear you get yelled at. Question number 1. Triangle has these vertices. Which transformation would produce these new coordinates? Now, if you took the first one, -3, -1, but you graphed 3, 1, that would be here in quadrant 1, you would have to do a reflection over the x-axis and a reflection over the y-axis. That is none of your choices, so you were not, the answer is not B, it's not being counted, because B would be incorrect. Okay, so if you saw 2 and crossed off, that means you don't get credit because B is the incorrect answer. There is no answer on the multiple choice. Question number 2. Find the measure of angle P. Well, P is a second letter, X is a second letter, so if you look at X, you already have 70 degrees, therefore P is also 70 degrees. Now, just a warning to the student who was studying and trying to memorize answers, 3 out of the 4 questions, I just changed the question. So students were trying to memorize and not learn math. That's the bad thing. Don't memorize. Name the coordinates of n prime after a clockwise rotation of 90 degrees. Clockwise rotation of 90 degrees just means I need to do this trick once. Change the sign of x. So here's the trick. And then switch x and y. So the coordinates for n, here is your origin, right 1, and down -1. Okay? I'm going to change the sign, so instead of being positive, it's going to be negative, and then I just switch the places. Your answer is -1, -1. You will receive 2 points for every correct answer. If you missed both of them, I gave you 1 point. If you think I made a grading mistake, you come after school. I'll bring up your scanned file, but don't be the foolish student who tries to add or erase things because I know. Question number 4, name the coordinates of P prime after a counterclockwise. Anytime you see the word counter, we have to transform it because this trick only works for every 90 degrees clockwise. That should be on your maps. So my equation is 180 degrees counterclockwise, blank plus blank equals 360. Well, if this is 180 counterclockwise, to get in the same position, you will get 180 degrees clockwise. So here, that means if I take that number and divide it by 90, you'll have to do this trick twice. So here are the coordinates for P. I go right 7 up 2. That's the original coordinate. 0 degrees has not moved. Now if you rotate it 90 degrees, change the sign of x, so that would be a -7, and now you change places. 2 -7 is after a 90 degree clockwise rotation. Change the sign of x, switch them, -7, -2 is your correct answer. Remember, there's 2 points apiece, and if you missed both of them, you got 1 point. If you got one of them correct, I gave you just 2 points total. Question number 5. What are the coordinates of each vertex if a figure is translated 3 units to the right and 2 units down? I want you to recognize, again, I'm changing the problem. A lot of you guys may have memorized answers from the previous test, which is incorrect. If you write down the coordinates for A, it's left 2, up 2. And this rule here says translated 3 units to the right. So that would be x plus 3. So I'm trying to create this rule here, which make it really easy for me. And then 2 units down refers to the y-axis. Going down means -2. So if I take these and I just add it to my rule, -2 plus 3 gives me a +1. And 2 plus a -2 gives me 0. And if you look at all of my multiple choice, there's only one answer that has 1, 0. And I circled that. C is my correct answer. Now, some of you may have said, well, Mr. Ng, it's out of the coordinate plane. Okay? You just extend your own coordinate plane. Question number 6. Which triangles are congruent by SHS? Well, each triangle has extra markings. For example, this one is SSA. That's not a way to prove them, so you can't use that one because it's not a right triangle. Remember, SSA is HL only with a right triangle. Here I have 4 markings, so you can do angle, side, angle, side, angle, side, angle, or you could have done angle, angle, side. I wrote all my combinations here: side, angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side. Well, both of these have SAS. Then I just need a triangle that matches that. Well, if I use HFG, I have nothing, 1, 2, 2. Nothing, 1, what happened? Nothing, 1, oh, nothing, 1, 2, 2. Nothing, 1, 2, 2. So that would be triangle HFG ACB. No, that didn't work. Try that again. HGF 1, 2, 2, 1. So 1, 2, 2, 1 would be ABC, and that'll be choice B. Question number 7. Which of the following describes a movement of a figure that is translated according to this rule? You start with original order pair, and then I do +1 and then -7. +1 on the x-axis means going to the right 1, and -7 on the y-axis means going down. That would be choice F. That side was worth 16 points. Backside. Directions for 8-9: use a figure below and complete the congruent statement and give a theorem or a postulate. Those are just one of your 5 ways. If there is no congruence, write none for both. Each blank was worth 2 points. If you got both of them wrong, it would be 1 point. This one just has an angle, and this one just has a side. Well, one of my 5 ways is not just angle or side, or just 2 letters, so the answer is none for both of those. It tells you, right? None for both. Question number 9, I told you to write DCE because there was an error on making the test. FCD is not on here. So if I have DCE, the hidden right there is vertical angles. Should have added those too. And then you're going to have SAS, SAS, that's that one. DCE, 2, 2, 1. Do you see that? That would be 2, 2, 1. Your answer is BCA. Question number 10. Complete the congruent statements. They give me a congruent statement. Remember, which one is more important? Picture or the statement class? The statement. Now, some of you have some correct letters, but your notation was wrong, and that changed it, and I marked it wrong, and I'll explain why. LC, first, third. BK, first and third. Okay, you only need 2 letters for a line segment. Pay attention now. For those who wrote just C, that's incorrect. We learned back in chapter 1 that C is just a point. It's not an angle unless you put the symbol in front of it. So I did mark you wrong if you just wrote the letter C. You were kind of lazy, huh? All you had to do is look on the other side. It says angle K. Angle K is the third letter. Third letter is C. Same thing over here. If you didn't draw the triangle and you had the correct letters K, J, and B, I marked you wrong. Because three points, you have a plane. I don't know which plane you're talking about. It's not defined. Are you talking about an angle? You see, that's the reason why in the first lesson we talked about defined versus undefined. You have to define it. CML, 3, 2, 1. That would be KJB, triangle KJB. KJ is the third and second letter. CM would be third and second letter. Angle M, second letter. J is the second letter. You need angle J, not just J. KBJ, third, first, second. That would be third, first, second. Question number 11. For each pair of triangles, tell which postulate makes the triangles congruent. If there's not enough information, write not possible. I marked a student wrong because they wrote not enough information, but I tell you to write not possible. The hidden right here is reflexive. Then you have side, side, side would be your answer. Number 12, if you look at this, your hidden is reflexive, then you have angle, side, side. But angle, side, side is not one of your 5 reasons. Some of you wrote HL. So ASS would have been wrong. That means that's the donkey rule. You can't spell it. It's inappropriate in class. HL would have been wrong too because there's no right triangle. Look at your notes. Look at your maps. The answer is not possible. Question number 13. This class I think was R. So your answer is respectful. You got 2 points for that. Question number 13. Which one is not true? Well, F is the first letter. N is the third letter. That's wrong. So that would be D. Number 14. You had to fill this out correctly. ZWY. You have your givens. Givens. WY is congruent to WY, or YW is congruent to YW. That would be reflexive. The 2 triangles are congruent by SAS. If you had more than 2 mistakes, you got 3. If you had more than 2, then you got 2 out of 4. That side was 24 points, and the total of the test was 40.